Hi, I'm Carolyn from o2bstamping.com. I'm glad that you could join me today. I am going to be making a wedding congratulations card. It says marriage is a journey. And to make that, I'm using the Flourishing Phrases stamp set and the coordinating Flourish thinlets. You get all of these thinlets plus the 3 that I'm using on my card. And you can get that as a bundle as of now. I love this bundle because you can make so many things with it. So I'm just going to show you a couple other cards that I did. So this was fun to make and so easy. You can just use the one large thinlet that I used on this card, and then I used the piece that I had cut it out of on this card. And as I looked at this one this morning, actually, I think I'm going to add some little jewels or pearls to all the little circles here. I think that'll make it a little bit more bling bling. It's kind of plain for my style, but some people like plain, so anyway, that's another one, 2 of them that I made. And the thing too that I like about the Flourishing Phrases is that it has so many sentiments that you can use in that one stamp set. This was another one that I made just using the stamp set by itself without the thinlets, except for this little teeny piece there. You can see that on the very inside. And I also took my Wink of Stella pen and my ink pad and used it as a blender pen. So I put it in a little bit of ink and then colored this center piece. You can see it's a little bit darker. And then I also made a get well card, comfort and healing to you, and then stamped or actually this is a little thinlet leaf for a little bit of dimension on the inside of the card as well. And on this one, you see it, I used the gold Wink of Stella. On the other one I used the clear. You see the little gold dot, there we go. You can see them pretty good there on that card. This one actually I saw on Pinterest and just fell in love with the simplicity of it. This one is so very easy and goes together very quickly. I also used some of the new copper metallic thread in the background there. So let me show you how I got to make this card. So I started out with an 5.5 by 8.5 piece of elegant eggplant cardstock. I used my bone folder to make a nice crease on my card. Then used a layer of pear pizzazz. I love these colors together. I just think they really complement each other. And this piece measures 4 by 5.25. Then I added one more layer before I started the thinlets layers. So this is Whisper White, and this piece actually is for the inside of the card. So it measures 4 by 5.25. This piece is the piece that goes here. Okay, so this piece measures 3 3/4 across the top. And then I'm just going to set this aside. Then I'm going to bring in my pieces that I want to run through the Big Shot. And zoom this out just a little bit. So I'm using again the Pear Pizzazz Elegant Eggplant and these 3 thinlets out of the Flourish Thinlets dies. I'm using my multi-purpose platform on tab 2 and my precision plate, and then as well my cutting pad. So I'm going to put these through the Big Shot. And I'm going to use, this one actually slipped. I'm going to have to run that one through again. That is one of the things to, just going to warn you a little bit about the Big Shot, the precision plate. I'm so used to using my magnetic platform that I forget sometimes to just be careful when I'm running that through with the precision plate, because it's not magnetic and your pieces can move around on you if you're not watching them carefully. So I'm just going to pop this onto my brush tool and just go over that. This is pretty much a must with this stamp set, unless you just like to punch things out by hand. These little pieces that make the design would be hard to poke out one at a time. It can be done, but so if you run it through and you don't get all of them out like you saw me doing, you can just push them a little bit with the brush. I don't recommend that you take this piece off and then go across it with the brush. You actually want to leave this piece on. But I'll show you again with the leaf. So just leave the Thinlet right on the paper and then take your brush and go over the top of it. That works the best. And then this will pop out. And again, if it leaves one or two in there, just lightly tap it with your brush and they'll come right out. Now with this piece, I actually need 2 of those. So I'm going to run that through again with this piece and make sure this time that that doesn't slip. So again, I have the multi-purpose platform on tab 2, my precision plate, and my cutting pad. And I'm going to cut that up, put that through the Big Shot, be right back. Sometimes I just assume that people know what a Big Shot is, but if you don't, it is a die cutting machine. It's made by Sizzix, and we carry it in our catalog. Okay, that turned out much better. I'm going to bring this in, these 2 pieces down, and again go over these. Oh, something that I did forget to say and actually forgot to do was to actually run this Thinlet through the Big Shot several times, like back and forth like 3 times. I'm actually going to do that real quick. Right back. That just helps the really intricate Thinlet dies to actually release better than if you just run it through once. Because they are so intricate, sometimes it takes a little bit more babying, I guess you'll call it, for them to release out of the Thinlet die. So let's see here. This one I've noticed especially likes a little bit of extra tender loving care. There we go. And then this one. Fell right out. Okay, so we should have everything we need now for the design on the front of the card. So I'm going to put all of this aside. So we have our 2 leaves, our flower, and our decoration. Okay, so I'm going to bring in my Whisper White piece of cardstock, a small piece. I'm not sure, forget what it measures. So it measures 3 by 3 1/4. And I'm actually going to stamp my message first so that I can work my design around the message. You can do it either way really, but I just find this to be a little bit easier, so I'm going to use this Marriage is a Journey, again out of the Flourishing Phrases stamp set. Elegant Eggplant ink. And I'm going to stamp that right down in the corner. Oops. Be better if I come up on the screen so you can see me doing the stamping. Okay, then I'm going to just sort of place these where I want them. Go like that. And I'm going to use the fine tip glue to attach these to the card. Now you could use multi-purpose Tombow glue, or the green glue as some people call it. I find that I really like this fine tip glue, but I will mention here that when using the fine tip glue, you don't want to leave it uncapped for long because it will clog the fine tip and then it'll be very difficult to get it unclogged. So always put your cap back on. Okay, I'm gonna put this right here. Try not to get extra glue on that, because if you do, you can see it if it squeezes out from underneath the paper. Okay, and then I found the easiest way to put this back on for me is to put my finger right under the tip so that I can see it well. And then just try to slide that back in there. And to cover up the green stems from the flower, I used one of the accents. Let's see if I've got my, I can put it on with this. I'll use my paper snips to slide under here and then just add it to my card there. Okay. Then I'm going to bring in this piece of cardstock, which measures 1/4 inch larger than the Whisper White. So I'll give you that dimension. It should be 3 1/4 by 3 1/2. That's correct. And then I'm just going to add this layer. Ooh, came out faster than I was expecting. Okay, now I'm also going to put some dimensionals on the back of this. I'm going to bring in my card front. And add that right here. I like to try to leave the same dimension around the top of the card here, like about 1/4 inch all the way around. And then I'm going to bring this in. Now you'll notice this is going to be too large. So what I like to do is lay it across and then cut the pieces so that there is a complete circle at each end. Oop. Keep going off camera, please forgive me. Okay. And then again, I'm going to use my fine tip glue. Again, be very sparingly with that, be very sparing, sorry, with that glue so that it doesn't seep out from underneath your paper and leave a mark on the background there. Okay, and then for a final, I'm just going to open this up and excuse me, take another stamp from the Flourishing Phrases rather, sorry, stamp set. Just going to put a little bit of stamping in the inside. And then also going to make a matching envelope just by stamping a little bit in the corner here. And that's with Pear Pizzazz. So there you have it. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, I hope you'll give me a thumbs up and especially subscribe to my YouTube video. I'd love to have new subscribers. Also, you can go to my blog at www.o2bstampin.com, and there's a place there where you can sign up for my newsletter. So I would love to see you around. You have a great day, and thank you for joining me.